Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
To you, my Yah, do I lift up my soul. And trust in you, he always kept me whole. And left my enemies deep in their holes. Let none that wait on Yahweh be ashamed. Put shame on those who sin without a cause. Show me your ways, please teach me your laws. Oh Elohim of my salvation, I'm staying down and patient. As a child, all the while I'm waiting. Remember not the sins of my youth. Lead me in your truth, and he'll give your soul ease. The earth shall remain inherited by a seed. The secret of Yahweh who fears Elohim, a fool believes everything. And to every word spoken, you can't take heed unless you hear somebody curse. You know you did the same thing. That's why I'm begging Yah for mercy and His love and kindness, cause I know that I ain't worthy.
Captivity is taking hold upon me. For frighten me and now we flee from fallen leaves. The grinding grief from all the blood our people seen. And now we cry, where is the word from Elohim? And so we figure we are as wise to be submissive, but we dismiss it. It is of this reason we have fallen victim to the lies of your root. We're a prey and pursue rebellious of His Son, forgotten that He is one. Broken the holy ordinance, rejection of reproof. Then acknowledge what we do. Now we return back to the truth.
Yah's word is the truth. Yah's decrees is the proof. Local 12 just released the scoop. It's the summer of Sam. They calling it Pam. Made us worship the Son of Man. And somehow that the moon, they stole our style and gave it to Rothschild. Now we exhaust the vow, but hit the turnstile. Yah's now be set to crooked things straight. Praise Yah from the rising to the evening to the closing the gate. Exposing the fake. Yah give the truth a daybreak. Now the liars can't escape and the haters can't relate to the light the truth makes. See the wicked's pride deflate. You adore Yah, magnify Yah, cutting straight.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise and honor to the Holy One of Israel, to the Creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is, by saying hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous, Yah is holy, and let Yahweh be magnified. Once again, the Creator has allowed us to come before thee another day, another night, bringing to you his great, holy, and exalted words, even the words of truth. My name is Mowreh IshYAH YIsraEL of the house of Israel, located right here in Cincinnati, Ohio, 1907 Vine Street, bringing to you nothing but the truth. And yes, it is true. All we're going to do is tell you the truth. For Yah ordained me to tell you the truth. So this is what I'm going to do. And who is this Yah? Yah is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein is. Yah is the Elohim of our fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, whom you may know as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yah is our king. Yah is our judge. He is our lawgiver. And Yah is our only Savior, and not just of Israel. Yah is the Savior of the world. And I praise the mighty Yah once again for giving us this great opportunity to come before you with his great, holy, and exalted, sanctified words. Last night, we were dealing with the night, the significance of the night, the importance of the night, things that will take place in the night. And of course, as many of our people do know, there are very certain things that they have learned about the night. Some of these things are not accurate. For instance, many of our people, including the world, under the erroneous impression that a day start at night. Here in Babylon, they will have a day starting at middle of the night. According to Jewish teaching and Jewish religious philosophy, they will have you to believe that a day start in the evening when it began to get dark. And of course, our people, many of our people have inherited this Jewish philosophy, this Jewish teaching that is not backed up by scriptures. And now our people also believe that a day, now listen to what I'm saying, a day actually starts at night, which is a oxymoron. And not only do our people believe this, but they also erroneously believe that the things of the night are signs for the day. So our people will look at the moon and they will say, well, the moon is a sign for when the months begin in the day. So not only they believe the day begins at night, but they also believe the very signs of the night mark your days. And this is also in error. But the various things that Yahweh make it crystal clear what the night is for. And he made it crystal clear because Yahweh made a covenant with the night. And you must learn this covenant that he made with the night. Watch what the Creator said concerning the night, so you won't be forever confused about the night. And what we will share with you tonight are the very secrets of the night. For example, in the book of Jeremiah, 31, and look what it says. In the book of Jeremiah 31, and this is what it says in the 35th verse. Thus is Yahweh, which gives the sun for a light by day. That's what Yahweh said. Did not it say, thus is Yahweh? And the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by day. It didn't say by day. It said he gave the ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night, which divides, separates the sea when the waves thereof war. Yahweh of hosts is his name. In other words, it not only he gave these ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night, but he also gave them to separate, to divide the sea when the waves thereof war. And a lot of times people don't see it. They think the sea is more active in the day. But really, they just don't see the sea at night. And they don't see the activity that goes on, that takes place in the night. They should. You can see you can see the sand and the shore during the day, but watch what happens when it get night on that same beach, on that same shore. The shore will disappear. And why? Because the sea becomes so active that it will go beyond the various sand and seashore that you thought of, you will see in the day. And watch what the Creator says. If those ordinances depart from before me, says Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. This is what Yahweh said. And no, those ordinances are not going to depart. And regardless of how many YouTube and internet so-called sensations you see about people so-called having knowledge about the Most High and talking about his word, and I done seen many of these things and they don't even have a clue. And they would just tell you things they think is the word of Yahweh, and it is not. But the moon and the stars are one of the great secrets of the night. Even though our people would number their days by the moon. And they only do this because our enemies have caused them and enticed them to think backwards. Furthermore, what else is happening in the night? Since we're talking about the secrets of the night, now this is what Yahweh said. He gave the ordinances of the moon and the stars by night. And of course, I know there's people out there right now shaking their head. That ain't true. Even though Yahweh said that. Something else that Yahweh said in Psalms 104. And watch what he said here. Speaking of the night. In the book of Psalms 104, and watch what it says. The 19th verse. He appointed the moon for season. What season did Yahweh appoint this moon for? Did he appoint it for the Passover? You'll never read the Passover in connection with the moon at all. Not one place, not one time. Period. And Passover happened at night. As a matter of fact, Passover happened in the middle of the night. And the only sign that you will read about the Passover in the sky is not the moon, even though it happened in the middle of the night, not the stars, even though that's a light by night. The only sign that you will see in the heavens that's dealing with the Passover is the sun. And Yahweh said at the going down of the sun, that's when you were to kill the Passover. And we'll read that. But he would never say nothing about the moon and the stars in connection with the Passover. And I wonder why. Watch what it says in Psalms 104. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows it's going down. You make darkness, and it is night, not day. Wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. So we see this is another phenomenon in the scriptures. I know many of us, we live in these cities and we don't really see this going down. But no, this is when Yahweh called the beasts. This is when they creep forth. This is when they come alive. This is when all the creeping things begin to just sing and play, look for food, do their thing in the night. Then it says, the young lions roar after their prey and seek their meat from Elohim. The sun rises. They gather themselves together and lay them down in their dens. In other words, all the creeping things, they know. When that sun start coming up, it is time for them to go in. And when that sun goes down, it's time for them to come out. But man is just the opposite. It says in the 23rd verse, man goes forth to his work and to his labor until the evening. In other words, sun come up, man come out. Sun go down, man goes in. And the beasts and the creeping things are just the opposite. Because we're talking about the secrets of the night. And why do we even call them secrets of the night? And I'm going to show you why we call them the secrets of the night. And what else is going on in this night that many of our people take for granted? First of all, our people don't even see the night as a season, period. But yet, it is. Watch what it says in the book of Psalms 22. In the book of Psalms 22. And this is what it says. The very first verse. My Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? O my Elohim, I cry in the daytime, but you hear me not. And in the night season, and am not silent. What season? The night season. And what is the sign that Yahweh gave us that we might know that we are in the season of the night? Is it not the moon? Is it not the stars? Yahweh didn't make this for the day, even though you'll see these things in the day, but Yahweh didn't make it for the day. Sure, you're going to see creeping things and beasts in the day, but that don't negate the fact that the mass majority of beasts, the mass majority of the creeping things, Yahweh say this is when they creep forward, at night. The scriptures say, man goeth unto his work until evening. That don't mean you won't see some men working at night. The secrets of the night. This is what we're talking about. And why is this so important for us today or tonight? And no, I'm not confused about saying today or tonight, because we are in the night season here in Cincinnati. But now we're in a different calendar day than yesterday. And as I was letting our people know, our people should be in the mind that we are in a state of emergency as a people. And why? Because as a people, we know Yahweh said he will return. He will return to our people. And he said he's going to return with his anger. And let me show you this so you can see what I'm telling you is the truth. Couple places I want you to take notice of so you can see for your own self. One is in the book of Jeremiah 23. And let's see what Yahweh says. And I'm going to read the 16th verse. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, listen not to the words of the prophets that prophesy to you. They make you vain. What does the word vain mean? In other words, many of the things that you're doing are vanity. They don't mean nothing. They don't have the things that you're doing. They don't contain salvation in it. So they are vain. They speak a vision of their own heart. They telling you things, but these things cannot be established in the word of Yah. And not out of the mouth of Yahweh. That's why everything I try to show you, everything I do show you, is out of the mouth of Yahweh. They say, still unto them that despise me. And there's people that totally despise the Most High. And people make them think they are they part of the remnant. Yahweh says, you shall have peace. And they said unto everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. And watch what the scripture says. For who has stood in the counsel of Yahweh and has perceived and heard his word? You can tell when people stand in the counsel of Yahweh. You can tell when people perceive and they really heard the word of Yahweh. Who has marked his word and heard it? See, there's testimonies. There should be signs of individuals who have truly heard the word of Yahweh, because they will be doing things, demonstrating things that show they stood in Yahweh's counsel, they heard his words, they marked it. Watch what the scripture says. Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh has gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahweh shall not return. Didn't I tell you Yahweh is returning with his anger? But Israel don't act like that. They think when Yahweh returns, it's for our enemies. No, brothers and sisters, when he returns, Yahweh is returning for the wicked. That's what he's returning for. Regardless if you Israel or not, Yahweh is returning for the wicked. And watch what he says. Again, the 19th verse. Behold, a whirlwind of Yahweh has gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahweh shall not return until he has executed, until he has performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days you shall consider it perfectly. And if you have considered this thing, then you will be preparing yourself for the undeniable truth that Yahweh will return, and he's returning with his anger. And when he returns with his anger, you can only pray that you might be hidden in the day of his anger. And Yahweh has told us what we must do to be hidden from his anger. And this is the secrets of the night. Watch what it says. I've not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I've not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. And here it is. This day, we calling our people, we're telling our people that we must enter into a fast, as they did during the time of Jonah in Nineveh, as they did during the time of Joel, as they did during the time of Nehemiah and Ezra, as they did during the time of Azariah and Oded, as they did during the time of Elijah, and as they did during the time of even Moses. Where Moses himself, for the sin of our people, fasted 40 days and 40 nights. And each time and every time our people will fast, it was because of sin. It was because they were seeking the Most High. As Yahweh said, if you seek me, ye shall find me. And here it is. We have entered into a fast, even here in captivity. And right now, we in the midst, well, over the middle of a 40-day fast. And we will be finished with this 40-day fast on the 20th of this month, December the 20th. Well, we will enter into a 40-night fast. And why? If it was good for Moses to fast 40 days and 40 nights, why wouldn't it be good for us? If Yahweh heard Moses, then why wouldn't he hear us? And who don't want Yahweh to hear them? And even though you may not have joined us in the 40-day fast, we are asking our brothers and sisters to unite together and join us in the 40-night fast. You don't see the wisdom? You don't see the value in doing such a thing? You don't see Yahweh's secret thing? You don't see divine intervention? Because if you don't see it, then that can only mean one thing and one thing only. That you are still subjugated to what I just read in the 16th verse. And I'm going to read it again. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, listen not to the words of the prophets that prophesy to you. They make you vain. Because if you don't see that this is not vain, then that can only mean the things that you are seeing. They are vain. And let me show you. I want you to see this. Watch what the scriptures let us know about Yahweh's secrets. The first thing you want to know about Yahweh's secrets is in the book of Psalms 25. And we're talking about the secrets of the night. And watch what it says. In Psalm 25. And we're going to read the 14th verse. This is what it says. It says, the secret of Yahweh is with them that fear him. See, Yahweh is not like a man. Yahweh said, a talebearer reveal a secret. We got people out there, they just want to talebear, and they want to tell their business and other people's business for no reason at all. It's mind-boggling. They just want to talk, and they don't even realize that the multitude of words warneth sin. But Yahweh, he said, the secret, because Yahweh have secrets, of Yahweh is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. In other words, Yahweh has secrets. But when he wants somebody to know his secrets, he go to the people that fear him. And when he go to them that fear him, he going to show them his covenant. He's going to make it crystal clear what his covenant is. And people still to this day don't realize that a covenant describes your relationship with the Most High. It's a special, peculiar agreement that Yahweh will make with you. Like marriage. Because that's what marriage is, a covenant. And he will show his covenant to those that fear him. Because his covenant is a secret thing. Everybody don't need to know his covenant because everybody is not even interested in learning, considering, and understanding his covenant. Watch this. I just want you to see this. And you'll see why we call it the secrets of the night. So we see here, the secret of Yahweh is with them that fear him. Well, who is that? Who is that fear Yahweh? That Yahweh will show them his secret as well as his covenant. Well, look in the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. And let's see who Yahweh is speaking of. Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. And watch what it says. In the 32nd verse. For the forward is an abomination to Yahweh. And who is the forward? The forward is somebody that's ornery and mean and don't have no problem saying what they want to say and doing what they want to say. They forward. In other words, they don't hold back nothing. They forward. And watch what it says. The forward is an abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. See, anytime Yahweh wants somebody to know his secret, he only dealing with the righteous. And who are those? Who are the righteous? Those that fear him. Now you see, and we got a lot of people, a whole bunch of people out there talking about Yahweh, and Yahweh ain't said none of the things that they talking about. Acting like they know Yahweh, and they don't know Yahweh at all. And surely telling you things, showing you things that is far from a secret. As a matter of fact, it's just an outright lie. But Yahweh's secrets is with the righteous. Yahweh's secrets is with those that fear him. And not only is for those, the righteous and those that fear him, in the book of Deuteronomy 29, if you turn there, there's purpose behind Yahweh's secrets. And what is this purpose? In the book of Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. And this is what it says. The secret things belong unto Yahweh our Elohim. But those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. And so anytime Yahweh show his secret to the righteous, anytime Yahweh show his secret to those that fear him, it's only to show you the law, to magnify the law and make it honorable. This is how we measure what people say come from Yahweh. Is it against the law? Or is it magnifying the law? Because the secret things belong to Yahweh. But those things that are revealed belong to us and our children, that we may do all the words of this law. And I may add, who do Yahweh give these revelations to? Yes, the righteous. Yes, those that fear him. But then Yahweh get real specific. He get real specific, even more specific than the righteous, more specific than those that fear him. Watch what Yahweh say about his secrets in the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter. And what are we discussing? Secrets of the night. And you're going to see why they secrets of the night. Here it is. We're about to enter into a covenant of the night with Yahweh. A 40-night covenant where we will fast. Right now, we're in a 40-day covenant where we're fasting all day, and then we will enter into the same covenant where we will fast all night. And many of us who've already entered into another covenant where we will fast every Sabbath day all the way up into the new year. During this 40-night fast, we will find ourselves fasting 36 hours every week. That's 6 night, that Sabbath day, the night after the Sabbath, all the way into the first day. 36 hours every week. And it's not a problem at all. Why? Because we are in a state of emergency. Who else is going to stand in the gap? Who else will afflict themselves for sin? Who else will bring to mind the blessings and the curses that we find ourselves in captivity, as Deuteronomy the 30th chapter tell us? Watch what it says in the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, the 7th verse. Surely, which means factually, which means definitely, which means of a truth, Yahweh or Yahweh will do nothing. But he reveals his what? Secret to his servants, the prophets. Now see how Yahweh got real specific? First it was about those who fear him. Then it was about the righteous. But then Yahweh amongst those that fear him, amongst the righteous, then Yahweh just extracted his servants, the prophets. Now, that don't mean a hill of beans to our people. You know why? Because our people don't even see Yahweh having prophets today. That's number one. It don't mean nothing because our people will talk to a prophet as if he's some dirt, as if he don't mean nothing. He's just another man. Not so in the days of old. Even though the prophets was hated in the days of old. And they hate it today. And our people always hated Yahweh prophets. They were always envy-hearted of Yahweh's prophets. They were always jealous of Yahweh's prophets. And they never wanted good for Yahweh prophets. Even though it was the people who asked that a prophet speak to them rather than Yahweh. And Yahweh gave them a prophet, just like they asked. But they don't appreciate it. And they will scorn and talebear and hate. But Yahweh know who they are. He know exactly who they are. But make no mistake about it. Yahweh will do nothing. But he reveals his secret to his servants, the prophets. That's what Yahweh do. And let me show you one of Yahweh prophets in the book of Daniel so you can see how Yahweh work. Daniel, the 2nd chapter. I want you to see how Yahweh work. And why we call this the secrets of the night. In the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter, and watch the very first verse. And in the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, with which his spirit was troubled, and his sleep broke from him. Now, it's not a coincidence that this happened in the 2nd year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar. And what year do you think we're in, brothers and sisters? And yes, you're right. If you've been listening to us, you would know that we in the 2nd year. And things go down in the 2nd year. Watch what it says. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said to them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. In other words, he dreamed this, but his spirit was so troubled by the dream, he couldn't even recount the dream. He forgot his dream. Then spoke the Chaldeans to the king in Aramaic, O king, live forever. Tell your servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing has gone from me. If you will not make known to me the dream, with the interpretation thereof, you shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dunghill. But if you show the dream and the interpretation thereof, you shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of a certainty that you will gain the time, because you see the thing has gone from me. But if you will not make known to me the dream, there is but one decree for you, for you have prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time is changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can show me the interpretation thereof. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore, there's no king, master, or lord, no ruler that asks such things of any magician or astrologer or Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requires, and there is none other that can show it before the king except the Elohims, whose dwelling is not with flesh. For this cause, the king was very angry and very furious, and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon, because the king was not accepting this thing. Somebody going to show me this dream. Somebody going to interpret this thing to me. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they sought Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arioch, the captain of the king's guard, which had gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. He answered and said to Arioch, the king captain, why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. It wasn't even a question in Daniel's mind whether he can show this thing. Why? Because he knew the true and living Elohim. Why? Because he feared Elohim. Why? Because he was amongst the righteous. Why? Because Yahweh said, Yahweh will do nothing but what he first revealed unto his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Yahweh said his secret is with the righteous. Yahweh said his secret is with those that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. So Daniel was confident that he would not die with the men of Babylon. Here it is today, our people, they not looking for secrets. They not looking for one that Yahweh will reveal his secrets to. They're not looking for one that has the spirit of Elohim. They not even seeking Yahweh himself. nor are our people preparing themselves in the night to receive in consideration the secrets of Yahweh. They're not looking for visions and dreams. They're not looking to know anything about our plight and tomorrow. Therefore, they're not preparing themselves for this thing. But watch what Daniel and his brothers, watch what they did. '17th verse. Then Daniel went to his house, made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the Elohim of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed to Daniel in a night vision. And did not I say we were talking about the secrets of the night? When do you think Yahweh communicates with his servants? How do you think he said he will come? Did not Yahweh say he will come in visions and dreams to his people? And what season do you think that is? That is the night season. Why our people looking for the moon and looking for the stars and looking for other things, they're not looking for Yahweh. They're not preparing themselves as Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah did. And watch what it says. 18th verse again, or 17th verse. Then Daniel went to his house, made the thing known to Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, and his companions, that they would desire mercies of the Elohim of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed to Daniel in a night vision. Then Daniel blessed the Elohim of heaven. See, it didn't have to be revealed to all of them, but it was revealed to one of them. All of them sought Yahweh, but all it takes is one righteous man, one that fear Elohim. That's all it takes. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of Elohim forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changes the times and the seasons. He removed kings and set up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He reveals the deep and secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him. I thank you and praise you, O you, Elohim of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and have made known to me now what we desire of you. For you have now made known to us the king's matter, secrets of the night. Therefore Daniel went into Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went in and said thus to him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show to the king the interpretation. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said this to him, I found a man of the captives of Yehudah that will make known to the king the interpretation. Here we are in captivity, and you would think there is no prophet among us, but yet Daniel and his companions was in captivity, but yet they had many prophets among them. Then King answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, are you able to make known to me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? And Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king has demanded, cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show to the king? Can they do it? No, they cannot. But there is an Elohim in heaven that reveals secrets and makes known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. And what are the latter days? The last days. And what days do you think we're living in? The last days. Your dream and the visions of your head upon your bed are these. As for you, O king, your thoughts came into your mind upon your bed. What should come to pass hereafter? And he that reveals secrets makes known to you what shall come to pass. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living. In other words, don't think I'm special. But for their sakes, that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that you might know the thoughts of your heart. In other words, the only reason Yahweh is showing me this, Elohim is showing me this, because he don't want you to kill a bunch of people. He actually wants you to know, and he wants this revealed so you'll know what's coming afterwards. You, O king, saw, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before you, and the form thereof was terrible. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part iron and part clay. You saw till a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that there were of iron and clay, broke them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. You, O king, are a king of kings, for the Elohim of heaven has given you a kingdom, power, strength, and glory. And wherever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of heaven has he given into your hand, and has made you ruler over them all. You are this head of gold, like Trump. And y'all think y'all put him in there. And after you shall arise another kingdom inferior to you, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdues all things, and as iron that breaks all these shall break in pieces and bruise. And whereas you saw the feet and toes, potter's clay, part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as you saw the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron, part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas you saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cling one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And little do people know what Daniel is talking about is what we're living today. We're living this today. This is a prophecy that started thousands of years ago. And now, here we are today, living part of this prophecy. And watch what it says. And in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces, consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. What kingdom you think that is? For as much as you saw the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, the gold, the great Elohim has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then the king, Nebuchadnezzar, fell upon his face, worshiped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. This is how Nebuchadnezzar thought Daniel was so honorable, so great, because he received the secrets of Elohim. Then the king answered Daniel and said, of a truth it is that your Elohim is an Elohim of Elohims, a master of kings, and a revealer of secrets. Seeing you could reveal this secret, then the king made Daniel a great man and gave him many great gifts and made him ruler over the whole province of Babylon and chief of the governors of all the wise men of Babylon. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Now, do you see the secrets of the night and what Yahweh would do? And look here, brothers and sisters, you're going to pray for somebody who know Yahweh's secrets, because evil is determined on the earth and our people. And you're not going to know what to do. And you're going to be looking for instructions. And then you will know that Yahweh will do nothing but what he first revealed unto his servants, the prophets. Then you're going to be looking for who knows the secrets of Yahweh. Then you're going to honor and fall down to those who know the secrets of Yahweh, because you did not honor them when you could have. the secrets of the night. And the same men that was greatly honored are the same men Yahweh would use to bring down the various kings of the earth. Here it is, this Nebuchadnezzar, this same Nebuchadnezzar who fell down to worship Daniel, also fell down to worship this great image that he dreamed. And look what happened in Daniel, the 3rd chapter. And watch what he says. The 12th verse. Daniel 3 and 12. There are certain Yehudanites whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded you. They serve not your deities, nor worship the golden image which you have set up, even though they was over their affairs. They was not going to act like the people. They were not about to sin against Yahweh. They were not about to be like other people. They worked in the government, but they wasn't going to be about the government. And watch what it says. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fear, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Now this is the same king that said there is no Elohim. He said, your Elohim, Daniel, is the Elohim of Elohims. He's the master of kings, revealer of secrets. That's what he said about the Most High. But that don't mean nothing. Just like it don't mean nothing when people go around talking about hallelujah and praise Yah and Yah is righteous. Because in the end, Yahweh said, our people, even though they come near unto him and honor him with their lips, but their heart is far removed from him. Yeah, you hear him praise the Most High on Yahweh. Hallelujah, praise the mighty Yahweh. But then their heart is not even close to Yahweh at all. You be thinking after they do such things, like, my goodness, ain't this the same one that just said praise Yahweh? Yes, it is. But their heart wasn't with him. And King Nebuchadnezzar, even though he was praising Yah, his heart was nowhere near Yahweh. And watch what happens. Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said to them, it is true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do not you serve my deities, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if you are ready, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sabbath, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, you shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that Elohim that shall deliver you out of my hands? The same one you said, your Elohim is the Elohim of Elohims, that same one? The same one you said he's the master of all kings? That same one? O King Nebuchadnezzar? And watch what happens. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. If it is so, our Elohim, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your deities, nor worship the golden image which you have set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury. The form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spoke and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was inclined to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. That these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. In other words, the people who threw them in died. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spoke and said to his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, True, O king. And he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the son of Elohim. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the son of Elohim. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fire in front and spoke and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you servants of the Most High Elohim, come forth, and they come here. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth from the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, captains, and the king's counselors being gathered together, saw these men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was a hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke, and watch what the mouth of Satan. Blessed be the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any deity except their own Elohim. See what happens to Yahweh's servants? Therefore, I make a decree. Now watch this decree. That every people, nation, language would speak anything amiss against the Elohim of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other Elohim that can deliver after this sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. My goodness. Don't you see the power of Elohim, the power of Yahweh, and what Yahweh would do with his servants And how did this all start? The secrets of the night. Yahweh said, his secret, he said the fraud, and there's many fraud people, many fraud, are an abomination to Yahweh. But his secret is with the righteous. Yahweh said the secret things belong unto him that fear him. And he will show them his covenant. The scripture says, surely Yahweh will do nothing but what he first revealed unto his servants, the prophets. And here it is. We see one of his prophets. What will happen when you have the power of Yahweh's secrets? Because he only going to show it to the righteous. He only going to show it to those that fear him. He only going to show it to his servants, the prophets. And brothers and sisters, if there's a time that we need secrets from Yahweh, if there's a time where we need divine intervention, is not this the time? You don't see that we're in the last days? The time that even Daniel himself seen and Nebuchadnezzar dreamed? The time that Abraham spoke of in a vision and dream of the night, where he said, thy seed shall be in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve their enemies and shall be afflicted for 400 years. You don't realize that that vision and dream is speaking about now? And who is around that Yahweh will show them his secrets? So what do we do? Well, I'm telling you what Yahweh's servants will do. What Yahweh's servants is doing. We will fast. As urgent as it was to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, and their companions, is just as urgent to us. So we enter into a covenant with Yahweh to fast 40 days. And we almost at a completion. But that's not enough. We will also fast 40 nights. Starting December the 20th. We will start our fast at night, all night long for 40 nights. And we will seek the Elohim of heaven to make the crooked things straight. And there's no one that's more crooked than Israel. So we want Yahweh to start with us. And what do Yahweh want us to do in our fast as we seek him? To loose the bands of of wickedness. And we're going to go over that. And we're going to teach them. We're going to let you know what this fast is all about. But tonight, we wanted you to know about the secrets of the night. When Yahweh see fit to deal with his servants. When Yahweh will come to them. When Yahweh will communicate to them. The only one that knows everything, and show them what they must speak, the things they must do, and the place they must be. Join us. Unite with us. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. If you one of the saints of Yahweh, you hear what I'm saying. You know what to do. And let us be about the business and the work and the judgment of Yahweh. And until tomorrow, Yahweh love you, and so do I. Shalom.